Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We're excited to have such a strong turnout for this session, and I know that you'll find today's conversation valuable for you. This webinar in particular is special because you'll get to hear from a variety of people on our brokerage team. They all bring unique ideas to help you grow your business, and you'll hear a variety of different voices. One of these panelists on our call today, they felt like it would be worthwhile for you to be invited to this meeting. Without further ado, let me just introduce our team. If everybody will just give a wave when I say your name. Shannon, give us a quick little wave there. There you are. Dee, welcome. If anybody, this is a little pro tip. If anybody ever needs any information about how other carriers, disability insurance carriers, like rank up against Guardian, D's your person. Little pro tip there. Daniel Malky, give us a wave. There he is. Cheryl, give us a wave. Thank you. Daniel Taylor. And hey, Sam Duffy, that's me. And then we also need to thank Jess Callahan. She took herself off. She is, I see the logo there, but we're going to thank her as well because she's running the show. She's behind the scenes running this presentation, and she's been very instrumental in putting this whole thing together so that we can give you some ideas. Um, we do want to address your questions, but those will be addressed at the end. So drop your questions or comments. We're going to cover a lot of material today. Drop those questions or comments in the chat. We'll gather them. We'll address as many as we can at the end of the prepared material. And your time is valuable, so we don't take that lightly. And we're going to dive in. Dee, you're leading us off with a few of your favorite ideas. So, hey, the floor is yours.
All right, thanks, Sam. So we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the um, advantages Guardian offers and working with our team. And so the first is let's talk about the no labs for a lot of your clients. We can do for disability. Guardian is the only carrier that can offer no labs for disability for ages 50 and younger for any amount and any disability product. So there's no limit on that. And on the life and long-term care, clients up to age 60 can get up to 10 million of death benefit without medical exams. So think about clients that don't want to go through a lot of trouble, they don't want to have an exam, or they don't want to do lab work. This is perfect for them. And we'll go ahead and talk about the next one. If you can go to strategy 2, thank you. Guardian is also the only traditional carrier that can offer up to $50,000 a month of individual disability. And don't forget that if they're 50 and younger, there's no lab work that they can do. So this really does streamline the process for your clients to get higher benefits. It's going to be one application, one underwriting, and then at claim time, it really streamlines and makes that claims process much easier and efficient for your clients because they only need to do one claim form. And strategy 3, please. And this is my favorite, and it's Guardian's True Enhanced TrueNoc for physicians. This really stands out from other carriers because it really just gives gives Guardian or your physician clients, I should say, an additional way to qualify for total disability benefits, even if they're still working in their practice. So for example, if you have a physician who performs surgeries, Guardian will consider them totally disabled, even if they can't do when they can't do surgeries, even if they're still seeing patients, they're still diagnosing, they're still consulting, they're still treating patients. They will be considered totally disabled and receive total disability benefits, even when they're still working in their practice. So it really just gives your physician clients more flexibility and allows physicians to receive more benefit dollars compared to other carriers. All right, Sam, you're up.
Back to me. Okay. So, y'all, when clients think about disability income insurance, oftentimes they're looking to protect their income and maybe even a full career. But instead of renewability for their full career, I want you to think about a unique product that Guardian has called PayGuard Plus. With PayGuard Plus, you can dial in the renewability of a disability insurance policy to a specific number of years. Have you ever had a client say something like they just need disability insurance until a life event, such as maybe until the kids get out of school or something like that? This may be a good time to pull PayGuard Plus. It's one of Guardian's disability insurance policies. Pull PayGuard Plus off the shelf to offer a term disability income insurance solution meeting the desired needs of your clients. Now, PayGuard Plus can include true on occupation coverage, meaning that if your clients can't do their job due to illness or injury, even if they can, it pays them, even if they can work in another field, they still receive their full benefits. Therefore, it's built to protect your professional markets, but it's at a lower cost because it has that term renewability backstop. Now, here's something that many folks overlook. PayGuard Plus can also be used to satisfy disability insurance requirements for something like a divorce decree. Often, divorce settlements are requiring one party, usually the higher earner, to carry disability insurance to protect alimony or child support obligations in case they become disabled. So think about it for a second. How could you use this type of product knowledge, this unique strategy to network with divorce attorneys? With flexible benefit amounts, riders like future increase options, customizable benefit periods, you can tailor the policy to meet both the income protection needs of your clients and their legal obligations. So, whether your client's looking to proactively protect their income, their needs for a court-ordered settlement, or protect their income needs for a specified period of time, consider taking PayGuard off the shelf. Okay, so next is back to D.
Back to me. Thank you. All right. So with Guardian Serious Illness Benefit, it allows clients to receive more benefits for cancer, stroke, or heart attack at no additional cost. Guardian is the only carrier to pay an additional 50% of the monthly benefit up to 12 months when your client is totally disabled due to cancer, stroke, or heart attack. And with the rise of cancer in younger people, this is a real concern for your clients. And so this is a great benefit that is a built-in feature to the contract. So it's at no additional cost. All right. So I'm going to pass the baton over to Daniel Malky. You're up.
Thanks, Dee.
Yeah.
So when someone becomes sick or injured, all retirement saving is typically going to stop, right? Neither the employee nor employer is going to be making contributions if the employee is not earning an income. So RPP, Retirement Protection Plus, is designed to replace those contributions while you're disabled. And a key part here is remembering that the average length of a disability is 34.6 months. So call it 35 months, which is a long time to go without contributing to your retirement, and that can really throw it off. So RPP provides you with a monthly benefit that ensures 100% of your retirement plan contributions, including employer match. And it's paid into a trust where you direct how the benefits are invested, and you can start accessing them at age 65. And that's RPP. I will go ahead and hand it over to Cheryl.
Thanks, Daniel. Let's talk about business owners for a minute. I think that the business owner marketplace is a fun place to work. It's interesting, and we have a lot of opportunities to help business owners as they are building their practices. So, obviously, a lot of your business owners are going to take out loans to maybe buy new equipment or property, office space, or some type of business type of agreement. Well, when they're doing that, they're always, it's one thing for their business to generate the income to be able to pay the loan off, but what will happen if they become sick or injured? And so we really have a solution for that. So we have coverage that is specially designed for business loans, and that's our business loan protection rider. This rider can be combined with an overhead policy, either fully insuring the other overhead expenses or just basically being a standalone type contract to protect the loan. So the rider will cover the principal and interest, and we need to have a term period of a minimum of 5 years up to 30 years. It can cover existing loans or the possibility of a new loan that an owner is considering. Also, it can cover purchase agreements. So when people are doing, buyouts for practices, things like that, this is a great solution to use. Our definition is our true own-oc definition, even if working in another occupation. Also, think about this. The banks really like this as a collateral for the loan that they're about to make for the business owner. So it's a great strategy to use for your business owners. So let's talk a little bit more about some business opportunities when we talk about multi-life disability coverage. What about the idea that that you could write 3 lives with the guaranteed standard issue? Pretty interesting. So the requirements basically are to have employer paid group LTD. The income has to be a minimum of 75,000, and it has to be employer paid. That's super. I mean, that's really easy to sit down with the business owner that's interested in having more coverage for his key people, and we can get that replacement up to 75 to 80% of their income. The if we talk about who makes good prospects for this, obviously, you've got really large organizations like banks and hospitals, things like that. But think about your smaller businesses, maybe engineering firms, accounting firms, and small businesses. Also, when we're talking about the medical side of this, we can do guaranteed standard issue for 10 medical people. But again, it has to be employer paid and their incomes being 75,000 and up. So it's a great thing. Think about it, and it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be really easy to come up with 3 lives for guaranteed standard issue. So, Sam, going to hand it back to you.
Yep. Hey, thanks, Cheryl, for those ideas in especially in the business space. That's a great opportunity. Um, the earlier idea that I shared was about term disability insurance with PayGuard Plus. And now I have another idea, kind of out of the box that you might not have heard about until now. Imagine offering your clients a single solution that protects their lifetime goals, their income, and their family's future all in one place. Now, that's exactly what Guardian's new whole life with integrated disability income rider option delivers. Listen, at its core, it's a whole life insurance, and it's the whole life insurance that Guardian's known for, providing guaranteed cash value, lifelong death benefit protection, and the potential for dividends from a company that's been paying them consistently for over 160 years. But now, as of just a couple of weeks ago, your clients can also add a disability income rider that provides monthly benefit if they become too sick or injured to work, essentially bundling income protection with their permanent life insurance coverage. It's a powerful step forward if you're looking at holistic type planning. Think about it. If your client becomes disabled with a policy like this, their income is replaced and their whole life premiums are waived so that their life insurance and cash value growth stay on track. It's just a smart and efficient way to secure multiple needs with one application, one premium, one conversation. It's ideal for clients who value simplicity They want fewer policies to manage. They might, and it's also available to some folks, maybe some occupations that might not qualify for standalone disability insurance. This gives them access to income protection through this integrated design. Applicants can get up to $10,000 a month of income protection through this program with a 5-year benefit period per occurrence. So if you're helping your clients with build long-term security, Guardian's new whole life with disability income benefits certainly should be a part of the conversation. All right. So with that in mind, Daniel, the floor is yours, buddy.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate you sharing that about the new DI rider on the whole life. So strategy 10, boost early benefits during your client's window of vulnerability. This is actually pretty interesting. So on our disability policy, we have a rider called the Supplemental Benefit Term Rider. And this thing was originally created to act like a replacement or an income replacement for student loans. So like if you were a physician and you got sick, the rider would kick in and it would start, replacing the money that you were paying towards your student loans. They took this rider a little bit further, and what they did was they turned it into a straight up indemnity. So what you can do with this thing is you can get an additional $2,500 per month benefit on top of your regular base disability policy benefit. So for an example of how this would work is, let's say you have a DI policy, an individual DI policy, and the monthly benefit's $10,000. You're able to buy another $2,500 a month on top of that for a period of 10 or 15 years. So we sold this a couple of different ways in the past. So the first way would kind of be like in the medical dental space to cover student loans. The second would be as a way for like financial planners or financial advisors to ensure that their clients have max protection during their window of vulnerability. Something we talk a lot about with clients is disability insurance isn't something that you necessarily are going to have to keep forever or pay for it, all the way into retirement. This is something that you want to be maxing out during that period of peak vulnerability. So this rider is unique to Guardian. It allows us to issue $2,500 a month beyond normal issue and participation limits. And it's just really unique for clients that like really get the need for DI and they want as much as they can possibly get. Guardian will always be able to issue an additional, depends on the occupation class, either $2,000 or $2,500 a month against any of our competitors. So Guardian should always be able to issue the highest amount of monthly benefits. All right, Shannon, you're up next.
Perfect. Thanks, Daniel. So, how many of you feel like you're drinking from a fire hose already? Well, if you do, hold on your seats because we've got some more ideas that are coming at you. So, I'm going to be talking about innovative and unique strategies with life and long-term care. And I'm going to piggyback off of my buddy Sam there that did a great job talking about the disability rider on the life insurance. But I'm going to ask everybody a quick question. It's obviously rhetorical because you're all on mute, right? But how much disability or long-term care do you think your clients would buy if it wouldn't cost them anything? And that's the beauty of what Guardian has done exclusively. And it's an industry first concept. We're the first one and the only one to do this, where they're able to not only talk about income protection in terms of the disability replacement of income, but also about asset preservation with long-term care. And you're able to do that all with one policy, which majority of the time requires no lab work in order to acquire that, one application, and more importantly, one claim. And think about the fact that, a lot of times I have advisors that say, well, Shannon, my client isn't interested in buying whole life. Great. They're not buying it for whole life. They're buying it for the disability income replacement, or they're buying it for the long-term care asset preservation. The only thing the whole life does is it takes away the use or lose proposition, right? If you have whole life that's generating great cash value, which by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing a huge resurgence in consumers being very interested in implementing whole life insurance, especially guaranteed participating mutual company whole life policies, because over the life of the policy, we know that typically they're going to have better returns than muni bonds. And We know muni bonds still have risk, whereas a guaranteed whole life policy has no risk and it's guaranteed growth. So with the volatility of the market, we're definitely seeing clients wanting to incorporate more guaranteed growth assets. But imagine being able to do that and still check off the long-term care and the disability income replacement boxes, right? That's what these combo products are allowing clients to do in a very cost-effective manner. Imagine not only are you getting disability or long-term care, and true long-term care, by the way, that's filed under 7702. It's not a chronic illness rider, but it's a true LTC where you might even have some tax deductibility with some of the premium on it, right? But it's tax-free at distribution. There's no policy loans. It's cash indemnity, which, as many of you know, there is no cash indemnity in the standalone long-term care world, right? And Guardian has enhanced their plan to now immediate family members can provide care and get and receive and trigger benefits. That's huge because we know over 88% of long-term care is provided by immediate family members. And most carriers and most products out there are either reimbursement, or even if it's a cash plan for family members to get paid, you've got to be a CNA or have some sort of education requirement or go through a long-term care home health care agency. Many of you who've already filed claims know a lot of what I'm talking about here. Reimbursement is literally condemning your clients to file taxes like 12 times a year because you're literally having to keep receipts, submit them. I can tell you my own personal experience is I literally have to contact the insurance company every month and argue with them about reimbursing my parents' claims and my parents' care. Even though they're legitimate care, it does not follow within the strict stipulations of the carrier's policies. And so long-term care, cash is king. But most plans don't have that anymore. And so imagine being able to have all of that, but also have cash value where it not only recoups what you've invested in premium, but over the life of the policy, you're actually going to make money on your long-term care, right? And now with what Sam talked about, you're also going to have the disability income replacement as well. It is phenomenal. And, I say this to my advisors all the time. This is not, a shelvable product, but if it was, I would not be able to keep this product on the shelves, right? So clients are super, super interested in this, interested in the concept. So definitely make sure that you're talking to clients about it. If you haven't reached out to your brokerage manager, have them run you a sample illustration because you're going to be shocked to see what the cost of this is in return for the value proposition you're going to get out. But I did promise you more than one strategy, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the other unique strategies. Now, I'm going to go pretty fast, and if you don't catch all of them, that's okay. It's not intended for you to catch all of them. What I want you to get out of my time is to understand, in all of our times, is to really understand that we have so much, our team and Guardian have so much to bring to you on our platform that just bring us your clients because we will have a solution for you. Guardian came out with the industry's only exclusive index whole life policy. And no, I did not stutter. It is not an IUL. And it is, please do not compartmentalize it into an IUL. I know a lot of our advisors and consumers do. I feel like sometimes I have to wear a t-shirt that says not an IUL. This is a true whole life policy, has all the guarantees of whole life, but gives you all of the upside potential of an index product with the protection of a whole life product. You can get guaranteed dividend credits of 5%, regardless of how the index does. And you can be able to capture the upsides of the market up to 11.5% potentially. And again, still have all the guarantees of a whole life policy with the cash value guarantees, death benefit guarantees, premium guarantees, cost of insurance, and policy fee guarantees. So definitely take a look at that. And now we can couple that with the disability rider that Sam talked about, right? So again, your client may not be interested in permanent life insurance or whole life insurance, but they may not be buying it for whole life insurance. They might be buying it for a cost recouping or a growth vehicle that is going to be a growth disability vehicle that does not have a use or lose on either disability or long-term care. Other policies that and advantages that Guardian has. Many of you who've worked with Guardian thinks that before Guardian wasn't great in terms of underwriting, came out with a lot of strict underwriting approvals or decisions, things like that. That is very different now with Guardian, especially on the life side. Guardian writes HIV. Our team has written cases where HIV came out standard, non-smoker, no rating. We write marijuana many times with preferred ratings. We can handle untreated cholesterol, sometimes with preferred ratings. There's a list of things that we can potentially write preferred that you may not believe that Guardian can do. Melanoma, psychiatric conditions, arthritis, epilepsy, seizures, thyroid. I mentioned marijuana use, right? Again, other carriers might be able to write it with a rating, maybe even standard. In many instances, Guardian can write it with preferred ratings, ADD, cholesterol. By the way, Guardian rates all tobacco except for cigarette and vape as non-smoker. I'm going to repeat that because that seems to be very popular with our advisors. Guardian will write all tobacco with the exception of cigarette and vapors, non-smoker rates, right? So there's so much more. Guardian has definitely one of the lowest death benefits in the market. Our minimum whole life death benefit or permanent life insurance death benefit is only $5,000. And yes, I get questions all the time. Can we write that on kids? Absolutely. Can we write that on older people? Absolutely. So I'm going to end my time with saying we have so many solutions for you. Definitely reach out to your brokerage partner. And Daniel, back to you.
Thank you, Shannon. And there's when I look at the list that I've got here in front of me, because we have the largest product portfolio, there's probably 10 other things you could have covered. I did one this morning where it was a table shave case. So it was a competitive case, us against another carrier. They came back table 2. We came back actually table 4, but we table shaved it down to standard, non-smoker, and so the client ended up going with us. We're pretty much one of the only companies left in the industry that table shaves. So anything up to table 4 with us is going to, on the permanent side, is going to get issued at standard non-smoker, which is just crazy. A lot of our clients, a majority of them now, are not having to do medical exams or do lab work. So most of the people that'll flow through our system are not going to have to go through the pain of doing that. Another thing I want to mention is the tools that we have with our website and the automation tools that we have for you to be able to use. So if you're not familiar with disabilityquotes.com and what it can do for your business, I would just encourage you to reach out to your brokerage person or whoever you have a relationship with. It's got some automation tools that literally will write the insurance for you without you really having to spend any time on it at all. It makes you look very professional. It's just a very strong competitive advantage and a reason to work with Guardian. The last thing I want to mention here is scan the QR code. We are a very service-oriented group of brokerage professionals. Nobody on the call, we don't get paid until the cases get all the way across the finish line and they get paid. So we have a vested interest, not only to help you uncover the opportunities and go out and sell them, but to get them all the way across the finish line, which fortunately Guardian has really shortened for us. It's the first time I've been with Guardian for 15 years, and this is the most aggressive underwriting they've ever had. They have a product portfolio that can fit just about any type of niche situation, which means that we have a bunch of different levers we can pull to get it right for your client. So I just want to thank everybody for coming. Visit us at our broker website, www.ashfordbrokerage.net. Scan the QR code if you would hit it on there. And will you leave it on the QR code real quick. So if anybody wants to follow up with us or get more information, please scan the QR code. Go to the next slide, please. These are all of our brokerage professionals that were on the call today. If you need assistance and you don't know who to reach out to, I would say maybe just contact Delinda first, maybe guys, and then we'll figure out where to go from there. But our job is to help you get cases paid. We want to help you find them. We want to help you sell them, and we want to help you get them paid. That is our primary function. So I want to thank everybody for coming.